Bottom is coming to you with another video review. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Jurassic World Dino Rivals Savage Strike Dilophosaurus. Now, we did get the Dilophosaurus previously with a couple other assortments. Got like an individual one, and then now one came with like the Target Legacy exclusive pack. As you can see, you got like this little that comes out of his mouth, and then you got the frills that can go forward and back. It was articulated and everything, but this is what we had previously. This is the new guy on the block. And I gotta say, when I first saw pictures of him, I was a little bit on the fence. Not so much because of the color. The color is definitely very vibrant, but it was the size. And of course, a lot of people decided they wanted to correct me, saying that this is a little bit more accurate to the size of the Dilophosaurus, whereas this guy is a little bit too small. Personally, I like the smaller one because in Jurassic Park, the Dilophosaurus was a pretty small dinosaur. He definitely was not, you know, like that. I mean, this is, I'm going to do a full comparison later on, but this is obviously more real life accurate. I liked the little smaller aspect of it because it just seemed to fit with like Dennis Nedry and that whole scene. But for the packaging here, you can see Dino Rivals. You got Owen looking very confused. Come around near the back. You got other figures that are in this assortment. You got his collector card, and you got his really fun brand new action feature, that being a spray blast attack. You squeeze it 2 or 3 times to fill, and then it squirts out water, and that's going to be fun because I'm going to show you guys that. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Okay, so here we have the new Dilophosaurus open up and out of our packaging. And again, initially, a lot of people were concerned about the color on her, and I don't think it's all that bad. Apparently the rumor was this was supposed to have been colored like this, and it's unfortunate that they didn't do this. They were going to paint it like that and put it in the Legacy line. I'm just happy they were able to release it. The colors are definitely extreme. I mean, you got this bluish purple, you have the red throughout there, which the red looks pretty good. The crest here has some crazy colors on there, but I mean, again, I don't think it's really all that bad. Great detail on the entire thing as well. I do love how there's a little bit of a glossy sort of paint used on the frill, which looks really nice. Got some great detail with the face. You can actually open the mouth a fair degree wide, which looks pretty good. I mean, that is a little bit wider than you want to do it. You can see where it gets kind of cut up here in terms of the paint. So you kind of want to keep it there to kind of keep that illusion that the mouth is open. But you can see you got some nice pink on the inside there, some yellow for the teeth. And then again, the reddish color on the purplish blue underbelly has this nice whitish color. If you are doing the Jurassic World Facts app, here, let me zoom in. You can scan that little thing. I'll get that in there for you. There you go. You can scan that. You can add this guy to your collection. I don't know if it necessarily just adds another Dilophosaurus or just a Dilophosaurus in general. I don't know if the codes look different, so I would assume that they're different. Now, scaling wise, again, that's where I was a little bit on the fence about this. This is, like I was saying, the original. This is Alan Grant, and now, granted, it's not, when you stand it like this, they're almost the same. I mean, they're a little more hunched over, but I mean, they're very similar in the size when compared to a human figure, but it's a lot more, well, I mean, it is still smaller than Blue here, so it is smaller than a Velociraptor, but this is a little bit bigger and meant to replicate more the actual scale. Like I said, I just like this one because it fits better with the Dilophosaurus we were introduced to in Jurassic Park. So I do have a special place for this one, although the feet don't like working very well. They don't like standing. They're kind of bent a bit, so it kind of wants to do that a lot. So it's difficult to get that one to stand. This one, though, is a lot better for the standing. For the articulation, the tail I guess the tail kind of can rotate, although it just feels like it's a separate piece. But you can see very soft rubber on it. It's not pulsable or anything. I do kind of wish that they made those a little bit more pulsable, but I suppose you could always heat this up, maybe put it in some boiling water for a brief second, put it in the freezer, kind of position this. You could put that kind of however you want. That'd be kind of cool. The legs here do slightly move in and out. You can see slight movement in and out. They do rotate. There's a bit of a ratchet joint, so it holds a pose very nicely, so you can get a higher stance like that, which is cool. The arms here are on these pin hinge joints. They are also a softer material, much like the tail, so you can see that kind of gets a little bit flimsy, but you can rotate it all the way around, and it can also hinge in and out. The frills move forward and back, so this is the far back that, like, this one goes back further. You can see that the neck is bent, so this one goes back all the way. This one does not, because it hits that arm, so you can't get that to lay flush on the back section. But that's kind of what it's supposed to look like when it's not in attack mode. The movie depicted these frills kind of like laying down along the neck, and then they would go, and then he would spit at you. Science has basically proven that that's a falsehood, that didn't really have it, but I still like the look. I think it's cool, and these are, you know, obviously dinosaurs that I love how they kind of addressed why dinosaurs look different than what their actual scientific counterparts look like, and they're like, because, you know, hey, you wanted us to modify these to make them look cooler, so we did things like put frills on it, that kind of stuff. A lot of it is kind of going along with that. We changed things genetically to make them more appealing looking, so I dig that. Now, you can see the size. Let's bring in the old tape measure. From the head here to the tail, you're looking at a little over 7 inches long, a little over 4 inches in height. You can augment that by getting her to angle back like that a little bit more, and then that puts her closer to the 5-inch mark. So that's what you're getting for the size. Action feature. Now, this is the part that's fun. The undersection here, you can see, is a little soft bladder. It's colored pretty nicely to match with what's around the rest of it, but you can see it's a softer rubbery material. Let me come in here, and you can see that that's pliable. Now, you got this open mouth, and on the inside here is a little hole. So let's go to my kitchen. All right, so here we go. We're in my kitchen. We got Dr. Alan Grant versus the new Dilophosaurus with water with green food coloring. Now, I don't necessarily recommend using food coloring when you're doing this, because it can potentially stain. As long as you rinse it off your figure fairly quickly, you may be okay. But what you want to do is you want to take the head, open it up, and submerge it in the water. Squeeze the belly a few times to fill it up. There you go. I can feel it filling, and you can also see like a little bit of green on there. And let's see if I can get a good shot here. And oh, well, that didn't work very well. All right, let me. All right, let's try that again. Oh, well, that's it. Oh, it's gross. All right, try that one more time. Ready? And no, it doesn't really seem to. What's happening? It feels like it's. Let's try that. Oh, that kind of feels a little bit more full. So. Yeah, that doesn't really do that well. Well, it kind of spits. So, I mean, oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That was a good one. That one sprayed all the way. So let's try that one more time. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm just spraying green stuff all over the the ground here. Well, there you go. Kind of works, kind of doesn't, but you get the idea. But overall, guys, I am really happy with this figure. Despite the fact that the gimmick doesn't work all that well, you could see that it could work. I think it just depends on how you hold the body and angle it, if you make sure that you have the mouth opened up all the way and all that kind of stuff. So it is possible. One thing that I also do want to mention is the little gunk effect that came with the original guy here. You can also use it with this. That hole can fit that as well. So, I mean, it's a little bit higher than I would like, but you could still totally do that if you really wanted to. But the overall look of it is still really unique, and I do like it. It's a fun, colorful look for the Dilophosaurus. And as a fan of the Jurassic franchise and dinosaurs, this is one that I would add. It adds a uniqueness to it. It also adds a little bit of size to it. As I said, this is the size that I prefer that the Dilophosaurus has. A little bit smaller, but it's not that much of a difference from this to this. So you could easily say, like, this is a juvenile, whereas this is a more adult version. So, all that being said, if this version of the Dilophosaurus is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available at various retail locations right now. So if you're looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, you can skip all of that and go to places online such as Big Bad Toy Store. For that, I'll put a link down in the video description where you'll go to BBTS and you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Jurassic World figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it, guys, if you would show your support simply by hitting that little thumbs up button. That one small gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out, guys, and I would really appreciate it. And a huge thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this review. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch a video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. Also, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons, who through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like to help out by supporting these reviews, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. And finally, remember, grow wise, grow strong, but never grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.